Like, is Drake hip hop?
Why are you doing this to me?
I know.
Drake
Because
is
we're here
pop.
for truth. We're here for
Drake
truth.
Drake is pop to me.
Right, that's fair.
In the sense, like, if I was in Target in Houston and I heard a Drake song, so it feels like a lot of his music is compatible with shopping.
My stocks in a 401k, and that way it would really mature in such a way. That's how the nigga talk. Yeah. Then all of a sudden it's like, when it's time to get on the record, it's like, yeah, shawty. Like, you know, like all of a sudden he got this little twang in his voice.
Right. Yeah.
Yo, what's up, everyone? So last time I came in with the Kendrick stan hypocrisy. So today we're going with the Kendrick hater hypocrisy. Because, you know, I'm the unbiased commentator. So today we talking about the Kendrick hater hypocrisy coming from a lot of the Drake fans, right? Okay, so I'm gonna kick this open with Drake has to drop to stay relevant. Because everybody's mad about like Kendrick like not dropping, and to an extent I agree and understand that, because how are you how is it Big Me? How are you running and smoking on top 5 if you're barely even dropping? So I can understand that. But with that being said, Kendrick doesn't have to constantly drop a new single and try to get on the radio to stay relevant. Because imagine Drake hadn't dropped since Scorpion, we wouldn't really be talking about him. But Kendrick hadn't dropped since Damn, and then came with Mr. Morale 5 years later, almost 5 years later, and still, 5 years later, and then like still like his name was still like he was still relevant in between those years, especially had dropping the Black Panther album. So Drake has to drop to stay relevant. So what are we talking about? And then Drake is more listened to for his pop records, if anything. And you can argue Kendrick is too, like, you know, Taylor Swift, but that's not even his song. And then you can say like, oh, humble pop rap song, yeah, I agree. But like Kendrick is also listened to for his like less pop sounding like Sing About Me, right? I mean, it may not be his most charting song, but because obviously like most of Kendrick's fans, like both Kendrick and Drake have like a pretty like there's a lot of like white people in their audience, right? So it can't really like you can't really make the argument this one's black than the other one, and in terms of audience. No, they got like white fans that barely listen to hip hop. They got white fans that do listen to hip hop, kind of. They got white fans that, you know, like there is no like general, like you can't narrow down their audience. Like it's so diverse. Because like I know, like I've seen like hip hop heads, old heads that listen to Drake, and like even though they don't really like Drake, they like Drake more than Kendrick, or they like Kendrick a little bit but don't really like Drake. So it's like it's a very nuanced subject, right? So, but all in all, like Kendrick is more known for rapping than he is for his pop songs, where Drake is more known for his pop songs than he is for his rap songs. That makes sense. And then Drake, next point is that Drake doesn't have a consistent persona anymore. Because Drake, when he first came out, you know, he was the Canadian guy with the R&B-ish trap sound, and you know, he was singing to the ladies and stuff. And then he starts switching and becomes like he starts name dropping women, and then he's getting all salty, and then now he's trying to have a little edge to him. And like A$AP Rocky kind of like changed Drake. I saw like a video about this. Like A$AP Rocky, like, because there's an old interview about like Drake saying that A$AP Rocky inspired him, right? And that's when Nothing Was the Same dropped, and that was a completely different completely different from Take Care, because Take Care still very R&B-ish, right? And everybody posts songs from the album usually posts like Marvin's Room or some kind of R&B-ish song, right? And he was still like under Wayne's influence. Like you can hear like hell yeah, right, like you can still hear it, and he still kind of had like the same like Wayne energy, Wayne flow, all that kind of stuff. But once Nothing Was the Same, he had a new energy. He's like, yeah, I'm coming in it. Like he had a whole different energy. He had more A$AP Rocky energy, and like, you know, aggression, more bass in his voice, a lot more harder rapping, harder beats, everything. Like he changed after that. But to an extent that's like cool, right? Because everybody's inspired by everybody, right? Even Kendrick's changed. Like I hear he's like now he has like a little more like of a little babyish and Young Thuggish and Baby Keemish and Nicki Minaj-ish kind of like sound. But it's like I'm more likely to listen to him than any of those ones, because like I'm not really interested in Nicki Minaj's music, and Lil Baby's trash to me. I'm definitely listening to Kendrick over Lil Baby. That's not even a question. But yeah, like you can be inspired and make a difference, but then after that point he was still changing. You got the Jamaican Drake, you got the Toronto Drake, you got the British Drake, and the drill Drake, and this Drake, and that Drake, and then he's dissing women to get Kind of reminds me of the Nas line. You only concerned with dissing women. You was a child scared to smile. They called you ugly. But yeah, he's not consistent anymore. Now he's like doing all this like I'm hard on, you know. He gets with 21 Savage. He starts doing the game. Like Kendrick broke this down on Not Like Us about being colonized and all that stuff, bro. And then you're mad that Kendrick doesn't drop, and then when he does, you get mad about the song, and then you say he doesn't have any replay value, but then he makes Not Like Us, and then you're complaining, oh, it's not about streams. But then like every little point you make about Drake is about streams. This is very evident because Drake's fan base is very pop oriented, right? Even more pop oriented than Kendrick's. So every point is gonna be about streams. In hip hop, nobody cares about streams. It's not about the streams, it's about the talent, your pen, your beats, your rhymes. It's not about like, oh, I get this. And you can argue that Kendrick's fans, like a lot of his fans, are sucked into this mentality too, because they're like, oh, Pulitzer Prize, and he got 17 Grammys, and almost Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson's a pop star, and Pulitzer Prize is not a hip hop award. I mean, still an accomplishment, but it's not a hip hop award. That doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. This is all marketing schemes. Oh, Snoop gave him the torch, and oh, he did. Dr. Dre likes him, and this guy says his name, and so to an extent, Kendrick fans are also guilty of this mindset, but like Drake fans are way more guilty. Let's be honest here. But like numbers do not matter in hip hop. Like you could like Illmatic is not the most popular rap album. Like if I go into the street and ask people about like hip hop albums and I ask them about Illmatic and stuff, like a lot of people are not gonna know what Illmatic is, or if they even do, like they probably don't really even listen to Nas like that, to be honest. Let's keep it 100, right? And Illmatic is still one of the most influential and one of the best hip hop albums to ever come out. Nas is one of the best MCs to ever come out, and not everybody knows him. Everybody knows Jay-Z over him. Jay-Z's more pop and R&B oriented. I mean, he's still got like hip hop cuts, right? He's still a good MC, but I'm just saying like Nas is even deeper than that, right? And my next point is, just because it's played out doesn't mean it's good, because people complain that you don't hear all Kendrick songs in the club or on the radio, and okay, just because you hear it doesn't mean it's automatically something impactful. Because recently I was like at Extreme Trampoline with my little cousin, right? And I heard "Whipped and Chained Like American Slaves," and I shazammed that song because I forgot, it sounded familiar, but I'm like, what song is this? I think it's like "Slime Me Out" features SZA on Drake's last album. I didn't like Drake's last album. I haven't completely liked the Drake album since Scorpion, and even then that was kind of like way too long. It was kind of boring. Had some good songs, but it was boring. And yeah, like why would you write that down? If you even wrote that down, like why would you write that down, dog? Like I was kind of iffy about like Kendrick saying homie doubled on calling some slaves, because Drake didn't call slaves. He just said that Kendrick's rapping like he's trying to get the slaves free. But having a line like that doesn't help your case, especially when that's your last album, your most recent album, and you were saying you were gonna retire it. Man, come on now. So yeah, that song wasn't even that good, let's be honest. And you hear it on the radio. But you can pull any song from Mr. Morale, and it's better than that. It's better than that song, but you're not gonna hear that anywhere. Even the more like popish ones, like I haven't heard Die Hard out anywhere, and that's pop oriented. So you see, even then, like even when Kendrick makes pop, doesn't mean it's gonna chart anyway. Next, we're gonna talk about voice. And now I've complained about like Kendrick's voice on his more recent songs and material, and I still stand by that, because I don't know, I used to like the little inflections he used to do with his voice, and like he'll have like a monotone voice for like the more controlling tone, and then he's gonna have a upbeat, like a very high pitched voice to show like being juvenile, and you know, like I like that. And like how he has like when he's performing his songs, especially the more jazz, it's like like, you know, when he like does that, like his voice kind of like a jazz singer, like that's cool. Like when he's performing, that's cool. But with some of his songs, more recent songs, like I can't really get behind the I'm not even making fun of him. Like I just seriously, just what it sounds like to me, and like I can't really get the most enjoyment from that, in my opinion, and how I feel, right? But at the same time, old heads will be complaining about Kendrick's voice, but then they're completely fine with Eazy-E's voice and Q-Tip's voice. I mean, like there is this different kind of, and same with Andre 3000. But at the same time, like I can't listen to Eazy-E's music if I'm being 100% honest with you. Like maybe a couple songs, but like I can't really listen to his music. I'd much rather listen to Kendrick's squeaky voice than Eazy-E's. I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't really like Eazy. And apparently he didn't write his bars too. Like he had Dre write his bars or something like that. It wasn't Dre, it was Ice Cube. Ice Cube wrote his bars. I mean, and we hear that Drake has writers. So why are we picking, you know? Like, I don't know, there's so many ways you can look at it. Is all I'm trying to say. I'm not picking any sides. I'm just saying, like, there's so many ways you can look at it. But yeah, And Eazy was also a short guy, so why you complaining about Kendrick's height and then complain that Drake can control his light skinness or whatever you want to say. But Kendrick can't control his height, and Eazy was a short guy too, but you're fine with him. And nobody talks about Drake's obsession with mentioning people in committed relationships. Now you can say, Kendrick cheated, but at the same time, like, he's been with this woman for a while, and he was going through something. I mean, that's not really an excuse, but I'm just saying, like, he's more committed than Drake with his porn star girlfriend that, you know, isn't like even involved. He's not with anymore. So like, I don't even care about Drake's personal life. I don't care about who he's with, which woman he's with. Like, I don't care about any of that stuff. But it's just kind of weird how he mentioned how he's like Pusha T's marrying his wife or something, and then brings up Kendrick's fiance, but then he's not with the woman himself. He just sounds bitter. Like, I don't know, like, cause I question why Kendrick didn't keep this strictly hip hop and it's more about drama. But at the same time, Drake didn't like really bring it in to just be straight hip hop if he's bringing up people like fiancés and wives and stuff. So now I kind of understand why Kendrick reignited the Pusha T angle at Drake. And to an extent, you're supposed to do that in hip hop. You're trying to like embarrass them and trying to like expose them, but at the same time, you still want to like break down who they are as a rapper, which he kind of did on like Not Like Us and subtly in certain other songs. But yeah, how are we gonna talk about replay value? But Drake's last album suck, and nobody goes back to them except for like maybe 1 or 2 songs. You can say, yeah, it's still streaming, but nobody's saying, yeah, I love this album. I'm going back to it. Like, these are the best. No, nobody's even talking about Drake's albums anymore. Nobody's talking about Drake's albums anymore. So I'm not saying this for you to be a Drake hater or a Kendrick hater or a Kendrick stan or a Drake stan, because I think STANNERY is just stupid. If you like someone's music, enjoy their music. You feel someone on a personal level, feel them. But you don't have to worship them like they're the next coming of Jesus. You don't have to like advocate for every single thing they do. You can still criticize them. That's why I don't like what Eminem said on his new record about, I just see a bunch of complaints. That's what music, that's how you're supposed to react to entertainment, art. You can critique and say, okay, I like this, but I didn't really like this. Because even in like the little quotes he does, like Kendrick's last album was cool but didn't have any bang. So there was literally something positive in that statement, and yet you still want to focus on the negative and complain about the negative. So now you're complaining about complaining. So like, we're not allowed to have opinions anymore. Everybody just has to. This is the problem with like this West Coast machine with Dr. Dre and all that stuff. It's like you're only allowed to like, if you don't glaze something, it's you have no love for the West Coast, and how dare you hate, and you're being hater. I don't like this whole social media narrative. Like, if you don't worship everything someone does, then you're a hater, or a glazer or some other artist. Because like even new Nas fans are doing this now. If you don't like every single Hit Boy album song, then you're a Jay-Z employee or something. That's just weird. That's bot behavior. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more hip-hop commentary. I'll make a couple more videos, I guess, related to this beef, but then we're going to move on to other subjects in hip-hop. So, hope you enjoyed this one. Peace.